The MLB All Star Game has given us the opportunity to see the best players in the world all in one stadium, including Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. Arguably the greatest hitter of all time, Ted Williams, hit a walk-off in 1941. Stan the Man did the same at County Stadium in 1955. Before he was known as Mr. October, Reggie Jackson hit the longest home run in All-Star history, an estimated 520 feet. Randy Johnson didn't just kill birds. In 1993, he would kill John Kruk's dignity. If you weren't at Fenway Park in 1999, then you missed your chance to be in the same park as not just the game's best players that year, but of all time, headlined by Ted Williams just a few years before his death. It's a tough task to do something more impressive than Carl Hubble, striking out 5 straight Hall of Famers to start the 1934 All-Star Game, but Pedro Martinez gave it his best shot in that historic 99 summer, striking out Barry Larkin, Larry Walker, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Jeff Bagwell, 5 of the 6 batters he faced in the game, giving him the game's MVP. The Iron Man hit a home run in his final All-Star game in the same city this year's game is, while A-Rod forced him to play his natural position at shortstop. And the most memorable of them all, Big Prince Fielder ligging out a triple in the Big Apple. All of these moments and others helped make baseball what it is. There was a 13-year period that just ended recently where the winner determined who would get home field advantage in the World Series, rather than the better team from the regular season. A questionable decision made by the commissioner Bud Selig at the time. This only ended when Rob Manfred took over in 2016. As a Brewers fan, I'll always appreciate Selig bringing baseball back to Milwaukee, but decisions like that, among many others that were worse, made him one of the most hated commissioners in sports history. But arguably the worst thing he ever did as commissioner was in the 2002 All-Star Game in a tie. This is an All-Star Game fans infamously remember, but MLB wants you to forget. Quickly before we get into the infamous All-Star Game, I gotta tell you guys about SeatGeek. As we get into the second half of the season, pennant races are heating up, and this is baseball you won't want to miss in person. It's not just baseball either. SeatGeek has you for any sport, concert, or anything else that requires a ticket. And I hooked you guys up. Just enter my promo code BREWPACK for $20 off your purchase. See you guys at the ballpark. That historic 1999 All-Star Game just mentioned was supposed to be at the brand new Miller Park, but thanks to a stadium delay with construction, Miller Park was not built, and at the time Milwaukee having the 99 All-Star Game and Boston having the 2002 All-Star Game, they went and switched places. Almost a sign of things to come for Bud Selig and the Brewers. Bud Selig got baseball back to Milwaukee, and this was the second All-Star Game in his home city. 1975 was historic in County Stadium, with one of the all-time greats, Henry Aaron, returning to Milwaukee at age 41 and playing in his final All-Star Game that season. Unlike County Stadium, which was 22 years old, Miller Park was the newest park at the time that everyone was excited to see under the bright lights. The game started out with one of the all-time memorable moments, which was quickly overshadowed. In Barry Bonds fashion, he hit a ball to right center that looked like it was deep enough to leave the ballpark to get the National League on the board quickly, but in classic Tori Hunter fashion, he brought it back, which prompted Bonds picking up Hunter in a playful fashion. In just the next inning, Bonds hit the ball to a place even Willie Mays wasn't catching it, extending the National League's lead 4-0 in just the 3rd inning. The 7th inning flipped the entire game, with the American League scoring 4 runs to take a 6-5 lead. Lance Berkman wouldn't let that last after a 2-run base hit to take the lead right back, headed into the 8th inning. Omar Vizquel tied it right back up in the 8th, and the All-Star Game was tied going into extra innings after both teams failed to score in the next 3 half innings. The problem heading into extras was both the National and American League teams only had one pitcher left due to both managers wanting to get everyone into the game. Freddie Garcia was the lone pitcher left for the AL, and Vicente Padilla for the NL. Both only able to go 2 innings due to not wanting to be overworked in a quote-unquote meaningless game. Heading into the bottom of the 11th inning tied, a discussion with Selig, the umpires, and both managers was started. With this announcement being made after the first out, it caused the fans in attendance to not be too happy, to keep it lightly.
Decided that the game will end in a tie if a run is not scored this inning.
A Michael Lowell single and a wild pitch would get the 1-in run in the scoring position with just 1 out. With no one else available, the pitcher Vicente Padilla had to hit, and as expected, he'd get out. 1 out would determine if the game ended in a tie or if the National League would win, and a Benito Santiago strikeout determined the game's fate. Just the second All-Star Game in MLB history that would end with a tie. The only other one was Game 2 in San Francisco in 1961, which was due to rain. Yeah, Game 2 of the All-Star Game, because for a 4-season period, Major League Baseball played 2 All-Star Games just a few weeks apart in separate cities. The reason? The playing of the second game was intended to increase the amount of money going to the players' pension fund. A late September game involving two teams already eliminated from playoff contention had more meaning than a second All-Star game. After the All-Star game in Milwaukee, it was a very dark time for Brewer fans more than anyone. Miller Park, although the newest park, it wasn't ready to host the Midsummer Classic. When you look at the improvements they made today to now American Family Field, it puts early Miller Park into perspective. The Brewers at this time haven't been in the playoffs for 20 years, and the only times the franchise was put under the bright lights was Robin Yount's chase for 3,000, Paul Molitor's 39-game hitting streak, County Stadium's last game, and this All-Star game. None of where the franchise was good. 1987 provided a 13-game winning streak to start the season, but embarrassingly ended with not making the playoffs. County Stadium ended with a loss in a 73-win season, and 2002 did not go any better for not just the commissioner but the Brewers owner, Bud Selig. That season was the worst in franchise history, and the second half only got worse with a 23-51 record. Bud Selig did regret the decision to end the game in a tie, apologizing to fans and calling it an embarrassment post-game. His decision didn't just ruin that All-Star game, but also the next 15, as in the following year, MLB announced that the All-Star game, as previously mentioned, would determine which league would have home field advantage in the World Series. Selig thought making this change would make more fans care and give it more meaning. It definitely gave it meaning, but fans cared even less about it. In its first year, viewership was down from 2002 by nearly 1 million fans. Would level out in 2004, then although close a couple times, viewership would never get higher than in 2002 and has continued to drop until this day. Fans and even the players continue to treat it like an exhibition games, especially the ones whose team had no shot to play in the World Series that season. Hall of Famer Chipper Jones came up with the idea to truly treat it like a meaningful game if they want it to be one, saying if you want to really ride everything on it, take the 9 best players from each league and let them go at it for 9 innings. Don't give them an at-bat here and an at-bat there, or an inning here and an inning there, because that doesn't tell you anything. If you want to put so much on one game, then you have to have the elite of the elite play all 9 innings and have your manager fill in the cracks as you go. An idea that never got implemented and most likely never will, with the game being back to not affecting the World Series. Almost 20 years later, MLB finally came up with a plan to never let a tie happen again, a home run derby. Each team will select 3 batters and each of them will get 3 swings. After all 6 players have had a chance to bat through 3 rounds, the team with the highest total will be declared the winner. Imagine Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa going up against Jason Giambi and Alex Rodriguez to decide the winner. Steroids everywhere, but Sammy Sosa hitting another ball 424 feet to win it would be a lot better for baseball rather than this. And at this point, I would take any way that gives the National League a win again.
Not going, 2-2 to Diaz is hit in the air to deep left field. Back it goes. Elias Diaz puts the National League in front. At 32 years old in his All-Star debut, a